Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. So basically I've got some news to tell you guys. Recently I've had quite a plethora of comments on my videos and people seem to be misunderstanding the previous viruses and monsters and other aspects from the Resident Evil games. And I'm not judging anyone or anything. The Resident Evil lore is so fucking complicated. It's all over the place. Like, there is so many different references between the different games. There's so many different strains. There's like the Plaga that isn't even part of the Progenitor virus. There's the Progenitor and the variations on that, etc. And different characters have all designed different variations on these. And the explanations for each of these viruses isn't given in a chronological order, so to speak. For example, we only learn about the Progenitor's origin, which is what led to the T-virus in the first game. In Resident Evil 5, that's when we actually learned about the origins for it. Like, what the hell, Capcom? So yeah, I'm not judging anyone, and honestly, that's why I want to do this series. So I'm going to call it the Resident Evil lore. It's going to be a new series. It's going to be going over some of the lore aspects of the game, the more complicated things, and I'm going to go into the subjects in depth so people can get a better perception of the storyline of the entire Resident Evil franchise, and maybe they can use that to enhance their theories and speculation about Resident Evil 7, or at least just their understanding of the game and what we are going to be expecting. There is also a lot of newcomers to the series, so this will definitely be good for them as well. It'll get you jumped into the lore basically, and you'll understand what's going on. So let's get into the content today, because today I'm going to be discussing the Progenitor virus. The Progenitor virus. This is like the daddy virus. It is the base virus that is used to develop most of the other viruses in the game. Now, that's not all of them, but most of the other games are based around the Progenitor virus, or a modification of it, should I say. The origins of the Progenitor virus are very, very ancient. Now, it dates back to an ancient African tribe called the Nidipaya. They were a tribe of West Africans that have quite an interesting history. They lived in caves, and they also built a complete underground city, which is absolutely amazing for the time. At some point, their culture centered around a plant that had mysterious cultivation requirements. They called the area where this plant specifically grew the Garden of the Sun. Now, they had a monarch with a king. However, the right of royalty wasn't by birth, it was actually by consumption of a plant from the Garden of the Sun. The plant was extremely lethal, and it would kill most people that consumed it. However, for those that did survive, they were apparently given superhuman abilities which made them kings in the eyes of the society. And to anyone that is aware, that sounds very similar to the effects that Wesker has undergone through the series. In the year 1966, botanical experts Oswald Spencer and Dr. James Marcus were researching the area as they were aware of the mythology behind the flower, and although they were academic intellectuals, they were still led by their curiosity on the legends. A lot of conflict happened between Oswald and James's group and the Nidipaya tribe. However, they got the samples and left after a while, 3 months to be exact. After this, Dr. Marcus actually returned to the ruins to collect more samples of the plants. The Nidipaya tribe, not taking this well, began to defend themselves and the area, and Spencer suggested that they forcefully take the land from them. A second conflict ensued when armed soldiers were hired to deal with the tribe, and the tribe obviously began to lose their ground very quickly. Oswald's group basically managed to secure the area that contained the Garden of the Sun and the plants, and they set up a lab. And this is how the Progenitor virus was originally cultivated. They had a lab in this area which allowed them to research it and increase the potency and traits included in it. So this is where the original virus comes from, a plant from an ancient tribe. And like I said earlier in the video, if you modify this virus enough, you can cause all sorts of different effects, anything from mindless zombies to superhuman gods. It's a very versatile base, and it's used in most of the outbreaks in the Resident Evil franchise in some form. The Progenitor virus is extremely potent and malleable. It can infect all sorts of life forms, humans, animals, plants, Even fungi can be infected by the Progenitor virus. So just to recap on this, the Progenitor virus is basically a virus that is cultivated from a plant in a very specific set of conditions in a West African tribe's cave city. Now that's pretty intense for the first recollection. Second up is that it's very toxic to most people, with a very few amount of people being able to actually adapt to it, but for those that do, they are granted superhuman abilities. The virus also can be modified in lots of ways, modifying it to cause different transformations and mutations. The variations of the different viruses based on the Progenitor virus are quite interesting and diverse. I'll be going over this in an entire lore series, making a video for each virus specifically, so I hope you enjoy this series. I'll still be continuing my normal content along this. This is just going to be a mini series along the way as well. So I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. Anyway, this one was a little bit shorter because it's just the base virus. The Progenitor virus itself isn't really consumed, it's just used as a base and modified into the viruses on the rest of the series. So if you did enjoy the video and you've learned something new, please leave a like and a subscribe. That would really mean a lot to me. Thank you for watching anyway. I hope you're having a beautiful day. Take care and peace.